Angel slices. My mum bought me all my favourite treats. Look, I have to show you. We've got the Mr. Kipling. To be honest, it's all bloody Mr. Kipling. Viennese Wells.
Oh, they. I, I love the way they crumble. There's like a greasy way they crumble. Do you know what I mean? You bite into them and it sort of goes. I mean, obviously, I'm going on memory because, total favourite. Total favourite. Have you been to actual Bakewell, like the actual place that's comes from?
I've got a friend who lives in Bakewell.
Yeah. By the way, I'm
Very
recording
nice
the
place.
language, and then we'll talk our private shit at the end of it, just so you know. Yeah.
Sold.
What was I going to say? Recently, has it come up? I don't think it'll come up. Every single time I open Facebook, have you seen those things where you can get the jammy dodger that's like a leather key ring in the shape of a jammy dodger or a bourbon biscuit?
Ah,
It's so amazing.
loving the
Yes,
facial
I'm
hair, by the
addressing
way.
that. What did you say?
Loving this, by the way. Looking very groomed, very fresh.
Oh, well, I shaved this, but why did I start doing it? There's a reason. Why did I do a beard? It wasn't just to. Oh, I know what it was. A friend said, "Will you do Movember with me?" And I was like, I don't know. And ironically, Phil once came up to me in dance and went, "Hey, if you shaved the beard, you'd have like a sort of what should you call it? Those kind of comedy moustaches that kind of go like that.
The handlebar ones.
The handlebar, that's it. So I was like, would it go to there? Would it go to there? Would it go there? So basically, I was like, I'm going to do what I've done before and just visually get used to how much I could cope with a moustache. Because to be brutally honest with you, my dad used to have a moustache. He was like known for it. And then I didn't see my dad for 20 years. And then I saw him again. He didn't have a moustache, and it threw me totally. I was just like, what the, who's that? Like,
Who is this man?
Who is this man? Yeah, exactly. That's a lovely song. Not that that's about my dad, but in Parade, You Don't Know This Man, when the woman's husband is accused of
really nice song.
Beautiful song. Yeah, I really like her as a singer, but I just think she's an awful actress. Apart from Irene Adler in she's brilliant in Irene Adler in not Doctor Who, what do you bloody call it? Sherlock Holmes. But she killed the fairy in True Blood. So Lara, what's her face? She the one that sang that in the West End originally. She was terrible in True Blood. She killed the fairy. She was terrible. But she was very good as Irene Adler. Right.
We'll give her that.
So off you go. I have a coffee.
J'ai un café?
Did you fly back, by the way?
Yeah, yesterday. Such a long day.
Your skin looks really nice, and normally when people fly, they look dehydrated as shit.
I feel dehydrated as shit. I feel wuff today.
I thought you were going to be one of those. Yes, Luke, I use a moisturising mask for the duration of the flight.
No, but all natural, darling.
So for me, I have a flight. I have a coffee.
J'ai un café.
Lovely. Luke thinks that my skin is beautiful. Skin is feminine. Luke thinks that my skin is beautiful.
Luc pense que
ma peau.
Ma peau.
Ma peau. P-E-A-U, like water but with a P. Ma peau, lovely, is beautiful. Feminine.
Pense que ma peau est belle.
Feminine, beautiful, lovely. Put it together in a sentence. Luc pense que ma peau est belle.
Luc pense que ma peau est belle.
We tend to say Luc pense que j'ai une belle peau. I have a beautiful skin. Luc pense que j'ai une belle peau.
Yeah. Luc pense que j'ai une belle. I lost you then. What'd you say?
He asked me.
I've been talking a lot of Spanish this morning.
Me preguntó.
Yeah.
Yeah. Il m'a demandé.
Demandé. Il m'a demandé.
Il m'a demandé. So let's what we're remembering, actions, auxiliaries. Yeah, if it's got an action, if it's an action in the past, it's got an auxiliary. So il m'a demandé if I had taken a flight. The word for flight is un vol. Now, voler can be steal or fly. But you never confuse that in context. So say for me, he asked me, il m'a demandé if I had, middle word had, taken a flight.
Si
Good, well
j'avais
done. Taken,
euh,
j'avais.
pris, si
Good.
j'avais
Now
pris.
notice your muscle memory is going to remember these past tense words more from the 1, 2, 3. So if I said to you, I've taken, you're much more likely to go, j'ai pris, and remember that as an entity than j'avais pris. You won't be as used to using the past participle on the end of the had. Likewise, if you get sentences like, if I had known, and all of this kind of stuff. So firstly, unlike your Spanish, sorry to talk Spanish because it makes your brain go into it. If you use if and the had in French, there's no tense change. There's no like imperfect subjunctive or anything like this. So so I had taken, j'avais pris. If I had taken, si j'avais pris. There's no like, you know, había versus hubiera, hubiese. There's no kind of crap like that. Not anymore. There used to be, but not anymore. So basically, if, for example, you said, I had known, oh, if I'd known, I would have told you, look, you know, often as well, weirdly, the I had known, so j'avais su, you're much gonna, for some reason, some verbs, you're much more commonly used to the imperfect. So what's the verb to know?
Savoir.
Good, lovely. What's I knew in the imperfect? What's the was version of that? Je. Quick reminder, if we want the was in a hurry, go to the we in the present tense. So what is the we know? So je sais, tu sais, il sait, nous savons. What's we know present tense? Nous savons.
Hi, nous savons.
Spot on. And do what I always call the Game of Thrones. So rip off the balls of the on. You're left with what? Savon minus on gives me what?
Sav.
Spot on. I could barely finish the question. You had the answer.
Sorry.
Then, what's my ending for the imperfect? What sound do I want for the was tense?
Savait.
Yes, love it.
I know this trick. I just.
That's it. It's just remembering to do it.
As soon as you start telling me, I know what one it is and I can do it. But it's going backwards. What's that called? The imperfect.
No? We don't need to call it that. I'd rather you thought of it like this.
Just sometimes you give me like a verbal cue and I think, fuck knows what that. I can't remember what that one means. I'm not joining them together. So yeah, this one.
Yeah, imperfect was. Yeah.
Imperfect was. Blah blah blah.
The only thing I always say, because starters we mean to go on, which is was when it's an action isn't the imperfect, and people go, when is was an action? When it's passive. I was arrested. She was promoted. That's an action. So there's all kinds of passives like I was arrested. Je me suis arrêté. Sorry. Je me suis fait arrêter. I got arrested. I was, j'ai été. So it depends on the verb type. There's different ways of doing the passive, but if was is passive, like London was bombed last night, that's not going to be été. That's going to be a été because that's going to be the whatever.
Okay.
And again, not to quote Spanish, but that's a little bit like the dilemma when you have like era versus fue, when you try and teach an English person what is a praetorate in Spanish. So like I had a coffee, j'ai eu, I had long hair last year, j'avais, same I had. So we're used to doing that. We used to go, yeah, I get that. But was, we always just assume this tense, Mm-hmm. But like I said, if was is an action, but that's a very small minority of the time. The majority of the time, it's going to be was is just imperfect, right? Okay. So I was just go was were used to whack it in the imperfect. Good, lovely. Brooklyn has shown me lots of biscuits. Biscuit. It's from the French, twice cooked. Biscuit. Yeah. Brooklyn has shown me lots of biscuits.
Okay. Brooklyn. What's to show?
Montrer.
Of course. Brooklyn.
Not to confuse with monter, which is to go up or put
go up.
Montrer, so montrer. Yeah. So Brooklyn m'a montré.
Brooklyn m'a montré.
Lots of biscuits.
Beaucoup de biscuits.
Nice accent. Spot on with the accent. Spot on. That her mother gave her.
Okay, beaucoup de biscuits.
That, good, lovely. Because the last word we previously did was the biscuit, and then mommy dearest. No, wire hangers. Mommy dearest is now going to do the verb. Okay. Yep. So we need a ka. Yeah, because we're swapping. We're bringing in a new subject, which will be, her mother gave her. So can we say for me, her mother?
Sa mère.
Good. Gave her. Now, did she give Brooklyn or did she give the biscuits?
The biscuits.
So the her then, is that direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Spot on. So it's not going to be la, it's going to be the indirect form of her, which is going to be lui.
Lui.
That's it. So say for me, her mother gave her, que sa mère lui.
Sa mère lui donnait.
Where's my auxiliary though? Lui a.
Lui a donné.
That's it. Say that for me. And this time, can you slide the vowels together, which is something you do very well. Sa mère lui a donné.
Yes. Sa mère lui a donné.
That's right. We could say her mother gave them her. Sa mère les lui a donné. We can double up. We don't have any like say lay changing the direct to an SE. We have no change. It's completely fine to put them together. Le lui, la lui, les lui. Sa mère les lui a donné. Sa mère le lui a donné. Sa mère la lui a donné. Right. Okay. What would be her mother gave her some? Do you remember the pronoun for some?
Yeah, if you give me a minute.
Very short word.
It's one of the C words again. It was in that lesson.
Oh, no, you're being clever, but no. En, E-N, en, that's some.
Yeah.
Quick reminder of En. En will either be some with a normal verb. So if you've got a verb that can use le, la, lay, without being boring, the green verbs, as in the verb that, quick reminder, a verb that if you say the sentence normally, it goes across without any de. So, je parle à Brooklyn. Oh no, there's an a, so that's a blue verb. Je parle de Brooklyn. I'm speaking about Brooklyn. Oh, that's a red usage of that verb. Je le français. Oh, that goes directly across to le français. So that's a green usage. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm back. That's a green usage. So if you've got a verb that uses le, like Brooklyn eats it, Brooklyn le mange. So we're in a normal verb. We are in normal verb territory. If we are in normal verb territory, we can still use en, it just means some. So Brooklyn en mange, Brooklyn eats some. If we say Brooklyn eats one of them, Brooklyn en mange un, Brooklyn en mange une at the end, sometimes just Brooklyn en mange and we'll know that it means one. And then to remind you, en is also just plain old it if the verb was a red verb, meaning in the normal versioning it had a de. So if I say I need the cream, j'ai besoin de la crème, I need it, because the original sentence had a de, I can't go using je l'ai or le la l'ai. I can't, it's a red verb. J'en ai besoin. So in other words, people go, oh yeah, en is it for when you've got, or any pronoun for when you've got a de. And I go, yeah, that's great. But you can use it with normal verbs. So just do a couple for me as an example. So say for me, Brooklyn buys it. Plain and simple, basic bitch, Brooklyn buys it.
Brooklyn en acheté?
Buys it, because it's a normal verb. So okay, so get your brain in order. Say for me, Brooklyn buys, let's say cream. Let's go moisturizer mad. So say for me, Brooklyn buys the cream, the feminine cream. Brooklyn buys the cream.
Okay. Brooklyn achète.
Yeah, the conjugate gives me the short form.
Brooklyn achète la crème.
Your accent is freaking like faultless. Just link the vowels. Brooklyn achète la crème. Lovely. So was that red, blue, or green? That was green, because it went Brooklyn achète from straight across. All right.
So just Brooklyn
the only
l'achète.
reason I say, sorry, my darling girl, what did you say?
It would just be then Brooklyn l'achète.
L'achète, link, yeah, l'achète. Because it's, yeah. Careful of that when you're Spanish speaker, because you're not gonna always want to join vowels. Yeah. So Brooklyn l'achète, great. Brooklyn buys it. Brooklyn l'achète, lovely. So we are in the realm of the green. But if I now wanted to say Brooklyn buys some cream, you know that when you're saying summon a noun, this is our du, de la, day crap.
Okay.
So, yeah. So Brooklyn buys some cream. Brooklyn achète de la crème. Yeah. Brooklyn achète de la crème. Brooklyn buys a cream. Brooklyn achète une crème. Brooklyn buys the cream that gay old Lukey recommended. Brooklyn achète la crème, la crème, la crème. This shit is second to none.
Wait, show me. I can't see.
I don't have eczema. I've never had eczema. But this is literally, a friend of mine's a dermatologist, and he's literally said, this is like the best shit you will ever use. And I've used it religiously for 2 years. Boots, Dermacare, eczema.
I did not expect you to say that.
It's so good and like literally screw la mer, screw whatever, anything else. It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. Got rid of all my niece's eczema as well. It's just amazing.
Oh, good.
It's amazing. Don't get me wrong. Lukey pays £99 for Medicate retinaldehyde. I mean, Lukey will splash the cash when necessary. Lukey will use an Aveeno oat-based cleanser, which is not very expensive. But this crap is just a basic ass moisturizer. I ran out this week. Already we're getting problems. So seriously, this crap is amazing.
Wow.
Amazing. I can't tell you how amazing it is. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Yeah. So so say for me, Brooklyn buys the cream. Brooklyn. Oh, and then this other crap. What else was it that my mum is now using? Oh, because I was doing the roses, and I was pruning, and I got a load of marks on my arms because I got a suntan over the top of where my roses scratched my arms, and it looked like. And I'm not making light of this at all. And if anybody does this, please get help. But I looked like I'd been self-harming. And so I went into Boots. I was like, and the woman went, please don't think I'm pushing Boots, but we have an amazing thing that'll get rid of that. I was like, go on then. And she said, it's the Boots vitamin C brightening. It's £5. It's £3.50 if you have an Advantage card. And I went, really? £3.50? And she said, yeah, because it's vitamin C, which lifts stuff, and it's niacinamide. And I said, oh, I know niacinamide. I'm always telling people with acne to use that. And she's like, yeah. Niacinamide is brilliant. Like, it just lifts dark pigment and skin tone and stains on the skin. Oh my God. On my precious people's lives, 3 days, and this crap was gone. And my mum's kind of a bit of a sun worshipper because she's always outside with the donkeys. And my mum's got what we say in French, fleurs de cimetière, like flowers, like fleurs de la cimetière, like those little brown liver spots all over her hands. Holy shit, she was on it a week. She's like, Luke, my liver spots have gone. What is this dark?
No way.
So Lukey's 2 recommendations are vitamin C brightening cream from Boots.
From Boots?
Boots.
You need to be sponsored.
Gone are the days of I'm like, oh, I'm off to kind of Space NK, or like, or I'm a bit like or I'm just going to come back with some French pharmacy or something. Good, right, up we go. So say for me, 2 weeks ago. Oh no, so let's do some sun. So say for me, Luke buys some cream. Luke achète de la crème.
Luke achète de la crème.
Luke buys some again. So we've gone back to some, just that little en word. Luke
en achète?
That's exactly right. Now let's go across
to
the red verb. Luke speaks about the cream. Luke speaks about the cream.
Luc parle de la crème.
Lovely. There are other abouts. À propos de, au sujet de. Both are fine. Both are lovely. Don't need them all the time. Luc parle de la crème. So if it's Luc parle de la crème, are we a red verb, a blue verb, or a green verb? If it's de.
Well, it's not green. Is it red?
It's red. Now, the reason I say red is to remind you that there's 5 main ways of doing the blue, the red, and the green. Yeah? So to remind you, we have subject, object, object, subject. Subject, object is a pronoun. What is a question? What is a non-question? So I like the bread. Luke, don't torch yourself. You'll see that. I like the bread. Oh my God, I can't even say that without missing bread. I like the bread. The bread I like it. What do I like? Brooklyn knows what I like. Yeah, so they're the 5 ways of doing a sentence. So, j'aime le pain que j'aime, that's the relative pronoun for green. Je l'aime, that's the pronoun for green. Qu'est-ce que j'aime? Qu'est-ce que tu aimes, Luke? What do you like? Brooklyn sait ce que j'aime. Brooklyn knows ce que, what I like. Agreed?
Okay, yeah.
They're your 5 ways of handling a sentence, shall we say, with the red. Let's now look at that with the blue, with the green. Now let's look at that with the red. Let's say Brooklyn speaks about the bread. Brooklyn parle du pain, because it's de le pain. So Brooklyn parle du pain. The bread Brooklyn speaks about. Le pain dont, D-O-N-T, Brooklyn parle. So that would be your que from the green, but in the red. Brooklyn speaks about it. Now, quick reminder, if we were in a red verb, what did we say the word for it was? En. So Brooklyn en parle. The minute your brain hears it, it's going to want to go, I might pop a t-shirt on in a minute. It's going to want to go, le. It's going to want to shove in a le la la, but it doesn't because it's a red verb. There's no qu'est-ce que with a red. There's no ce que with a red. What is Brooklyn speaking about? Brooklyn parle de quoi? Of what? De quoi? Brooklyn parle de quoi? I know what Brooklyn's speaking about. Je sais ce dont. So not ce que, ce dont. So all your green choices are gone. You can't use any of them. Can't use qu'est-ce que, can't use ce que, can't use le la la, can't use que, can't use any of them with the red. Let's look at the blue. Brooklyn's thinking of the bread. Brooklyn pense au pain, to the bread. Brooklyn pense à le pain. So that is a blue, isn't it? With an à, it's a blue. The bread Brooklyn's thinking about. Le pain auquel, to which Brooklyn thinks. Brooklyn's thinking about it. No le, la la, no en, because we're now in the blue, so that's letter Y. Brooklyn y pense. What's Brooklyn thinking about? Brooklyn pense à quoi? Okay? I know what Brooklyn's thinking about. Je sais ce à quoi Brooklyn pense. So if you basically go to how many minutes, seconds in, whatever we are, 22, 20, 30. So by all means, watch the class back, which you will, because you're efficient. If you go to about 19 minutes and just watch that little bit on watching it. But to be honest with you, if you want, I can just WhatsApp you a clean version of that. And just literally
I've already watched this on YouTube a few times, but I just get really overwhelmed with it.
Stuff goes in at different times. Good. So save me. Oh, and also quick reminder, if we've got a plural sum, don't forget you can also say quelque, but that's more like a few. So I'm going to buy a few things. Je vais acheter quelque, with an S, choses. And annoyingly, what's the word in French for something? How do you say something?
Quelque chose.
Lovely. With no S on either of the words. Yeah?
Something. Okay.
Whereas if you said a few things, quelque chose. Here's the next thing. What comes after quelque chose if I've then got an adjective? So something, Brooklyn's going to buy something delicious. Quelque chose blanc délicieux. What word goes there? Quelque chose.
No idea. I don't know.
De. Always de for an adjective. So say for me, you're going out. Okay, you need a new dress. Say for me, I'm going to buy something beautiful. Quelque chose plus de plus the masculine adjective. So what's the masculine word for beautiful?
Beau.
Good job.
So je vais acheter quelque chose de beau.
I can't even get the question out. Fucking flawless. Good job, too. No. I mean, brilliant. Now say Brooklyn said something interesting. Brooklyn said something interesting.
Okay. Brooklyn a dit quelque chose d'intéressant.
Say the word wine. The word wine, as in red wine.
Du vin.
Nice, du vin. Lovely. I like how you went with the right article as well. Damn, girl. Well done. Du vin. So how do we pronounce IN when there's not a vowel after it? So could you take that and could you give me the word interesting?
Intéressant.
Good. And everybody wants to say intéressant. Yeah. So say to me intéressant. We've also just been playing with EN, haven't we? We've just been playing with en. Okay. So Brooklyn. So say to me, Brooklyn said something interesting. Brooklyn a dit.
Brooklyn a dit quelque chose d'intéressant.
Good. Go again. Think it and feel it.
Okay. Brooklyn a dit quelque chose d'intéressant.
That's it. But if I said an interesting thing, then thing is a feminine word. So une chose intéresse. What's the feminine of interesting going to be?
Intéressante.
That's the fucker. That's it. That's really annoying, isn't it? So quelque chose de plus masculine and une chose. And then if we went plural, so Luke bought a few things using chose as just a token noun. So say for me, Luke bought a few things.
Okay. Luc a acheté
Mm-hmm. Quelque.
quelque chose.
That's it. And how are we spelling quelque? With an S or without an S?
Is it many things that we're doing right now? Plural.
Yeah, if it's a few things.
With an S?
That's it. And so quelque with an S, chose with an S. If we say Luc bought a few beautiful things, Luc a acheté quelques belles choses. Yeah, a few beautiful things. Luc bought something beautiful. Luc a acheté quelque chose de beau. So we'll leave that one to cook. Basically, quelque chose needs a de. As does quelqu'un, as does nothing. As does quelqu'un, someone, as does nothing. So say for me, nothing special. What are you eating tonight? Say nothing special. Word for nothing.
Rien.
Lovely. Say nothing special. Special is the same word you'd imagine it would be.
Rien spécial.
Yeah, stop shaking your head. It's flawless. It's flawless.
Feels too easy though. So I feel like I'm talking like it's too.
That's
makes
a really,
too much sense.
Interesting point that you've raised. C'est intéressant ce que tu as dit. I'm going to start giving you corrections in French as well, just so that you hear the French. Alors, je vais commencer à te donner tes corrections en français pour que tu entendes le français. Yeah, like that feeling that it's easy is quite normal. Alors, cette sensation que c'est normal, que c'est facile est normal. And at first, it's a bit dangerous. Et au début, c'est un peu dangereux. Because you think, well, it can't be that. Ça peut pas être ça. And you will go in the other direction. Et tu prends l'autre direction. And I'm like, there's a reason it's starting to feel easy. It's because we've been training you, your brain, to do certain things. Il y a une raison pour laquelle tu penses que c'est facile. C'est parce que je t'ai entraîné. You know, I've trained you. So, yeah, so go with that. If you're like, I'm going to guess here. There's no such thing as a guess anymore. You've been exposed to lots of stuff. It's totally normal. Tu as été exposé à beaucoup de choses. Lovely. So say for me, this evening, I was supposed to see my friend Nina. You might know Nina. She teaches ballet at dance.
I don't do ballet. I'm not a ballet girl.
No, but you know the people.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Lovely. So this evening, I was supposed to. Now, supposed to is censé plus no de. Straight into an infinitive. Yep, verb to be, censé plus infinitive. So say for me, I am supposed to eat.
Je suis censé manger.
Go again, think it, feel it.
Je suis censé manger.
Brooklyn is supposed to find the shop.
Brooklyn est censé.
Censé.
Brooklyn est censé chercher.
Trouver.
Trouver le magasin.
My mom was supposed to call.
Ma mère est censée.
Lovely. Was supposed to.
Était. Ma mère était censée. Yeah, no, that's Spanish. Apple.
Yeah, man. Apple. Yeah, okay. Apple. Yeah, okay.
How do you spell that, Luke? Censé.
I'm going to send it you. Because it's a nice one to visualize. And I don't often say that, but send you a little screen cap.
And it has to come with être.
For most of what you're going to say, yes. So je suis censé. I am supposed to. But notice that you get in the rhythm, BB. There she is. Yep. So C-E-N-S-E acute, censé. Yep. Lovely. So say, I was supposed to meet. Now, this is somebody I know that I've already met in person. Which of my verbs to meet do I want to use?
To meet, but you already know them.
Sorry, your corrections. C'est quelqu'un que je connais déjà et que je vais meet. I'm not going to say it in French. Je vais pas le dire en français. En personne. So what's the verb to meet somebody for the first time? Rencontre.
Rencontrer.
Lovely. What's the verb we're going to use if we sing somebody we already know?
I don't know. Rencontrer?
Retrouver.
Retrouver.
Au revoir. I'm going to go meet, my mate Simon. Je vais aller voir mon ami Simon. Je vais aller retrouver mon ami Simon. Yeah, we don't use rencontrer all the time for people we already know. Okay? Little push. Say for me, we met Kylie. We met Kylie. You and I, we met Kylie. My heart would go, padam, padam. Do you know what? It's all about the tension now. Padam, padam's gone, man. I remember listening to Padam, padam. Although there's like a weird. I heard it and I was like, that will so get used within a heartbeat at Danceworks, Pineapple and Bass. Yeah. I was like, how many seconds would it be till everybody's playing that? But there is like a weird loop of the count. So if you're doing something from a corner, it's like it messes up a bit. But it's like at the same time, and then when tension came out, which I didn't like at first, it's a bit of a grower on me. Literally, I think I heard it on the Friday, and no. I heard it on the Thursday, and I went to your tap on Saturday with Kaya, and it was being played in one of the studios. It's like, you gotta love the gays, you really have, you know what I mean? So,
they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. Loyal. They are loyal. Okay, good. So say for me, we met Kylie the first time we met Kylie, because me and Kylie, we don't hang all the time. So we met Kylie. Action past. Verb rencontrer.
Okay. So on avait.
Just plain and simple past.
On a.
Yeah, because it's
nous avons, vous avez.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Did you say we already know her?
No, let's just say, go with rencontrer. Go with rencontrer. Just we met Kylie. Nous avons
rencontré Kylie.
Lovely. You even did the accent on Kylie. Well done. If I said we met at Pineapple. No, Danceworks is what I saw you first, was it? We met at Danceworks. Okay. We met in London. Who met whom in we met? Did you and I meet somebody else, or did you and I meet each other?
It's a reflexive. We're meeting each other.
Yes, it's this reciprocal in this case, isn't it? Reciprocal. Yes, it's the same grammar as reflexive. So even though we don't say that shit, it's going to be the reflexive reciprocal. So what do we call when we have a reflexive reciprocal in the past? It's a job for poetry past. Yeah?
Is this new?
Damn, yes. And what comes after it if it's in the past? Nous
sommes?
That's it. That's it. Your mouth knows it quick, fast in your head. That's literally it. Yeah. So say for me, we met. Nous sommes.
Nous sommes rencontrés. No.
Rencontrés. There's an N in there. Rencontrés.
Nous sommes rencontrés.
À Londres. Say in London.
À Londres. Okay.
Good. Where did your mummy meet your daddy?
In the pub.
Perfect place. So say for me, au pub, at the pub. So can you say for me, they met in the pub, which is going to be a they reflexive past.
Ils se sont rencontrés au pub.
Good. Go again. Think it and feel it. Lovely. That's it.
Ils se sont rencontrés au pub.
Can we now try, my parents met at the pub? Think what needs to go. Think what needs to stay.
How do you say parents?
Parents.
Mes parents se sont rencontrés au pub.
Bugger me, that was gorgeous. That was really good. Go again.
Mes parents se sont rencontrés au pub.
Good. So when you've got a third person, he, she, they, it, when you practice verbs, I used to, but I got a bit bored of saying it, make people go je, tu, il, elle, name, nous, vous, names. So that they got used to saying things like je mange, tu manges, il mange, Luc mange, nous mangeons, vous mangez, il mange, which seems basic bitch, but when you then do that like with other verbs, c'est quand tu commences à le faire avec d'autres verbes. So for example, je me suis lavé, tu t'es lavé, il s'est lavé, Brooklyn s'est lavé, nous nous sommes lavés, vous vous êtes lavés, ils se sont lavés, Luc et Brooklyn se sont lavés. Yeah? All right?
Mm-hmm.
So, don't forget as well that you can still do massively mes parents, ils se sont rencontrés. You can completely go mes parents, ils se sont rencontrés. By definition, you can do it with a nous. So, we met. So, Brooklyn et moi, nous nous sommes rencontrés.
Mm-hmm.
Or Brooklyn et moi, on s'est rencontrés. Or even Brooklyn et moi, nous sommes rencontrés. Like you can, in theory, do it like with that, but it's just more common to use the nous. Good. I'm just going to grab something from the oven. I shall be. I've got something. I've got something in the oven. Do I have a glow?
What are you cooking?
I like you. Like I'm not even going to entertain your pregnancy joke, Liz. J'ai quelque chose au four. What are you cooking? Qu'est-ce que tu cuisines? The ridiculously expensive. Alors ridiculement, mais c'est un prix de. I can't even talk about it, but it's just really tasty. And I'm not remotely vegan. I freaking love meat. But those Beyond Burger vegan beef patties, I just
they're
love.
Like a $5 per patty. Those.
Yes,
So
they are literally a $5 per
expensive.
packet.
Yeah.
But they're so nice. I always
Yeah.
have some in case like a vegan friend comes around. But like, I just was like, I just fancy that for breakfast. And then because I'm low rent, two savoury potato waffles with them and a bit of and some veg. I'll be right back. Talk. As I never ever used to say to my ex, because sadly he's paranoid schizophrenic, I'm going to say, talk to yourself. Talk amongst yourself. Talk amongst yourself. I'll be right.
Or yourselves, depending on how many of you there are.
I'll be right. I'll be 1 minute.
All right.
Right. So say for me, Luke has made something to eat.
How do you say to make? Fair?
You know it begins with an F.
Fair. Okay, wait though. Fair.
Oh, do you know, you've seen Maui, haven't you? You've seen the skin thing.
I have seen it, yeah. It's off. It's done.
All done, stitches out. The bitch is
so
back.
Good.
Yeah. So say for me, Luke has made something to eat.
The only thing is, I am trying to do that in my head, but I'm
Say
trying
for me,
to.
I've made. Your mouth will know I've made J, or I've done J. Using
Faisait?
fair. Lovely. That should be in there. That's the was tense. What's I've made? J.
I don't think I know.
J'ai fait. J'ai fait.
But it's also je fais.
That's it. That's what bothers people because it's the same as the past. And people are like, oh. So say for me, I make, je fais.
Je fais.
Pardon me, my apple. You make.
Tu fais.
Je fais, tu fais, il fait. Nous, as you said earlier, nous
faisons. Vous faisiez. Il fait.
Vous faites. It's an irregular in the
Oh, it's.
Jumping ahead. Yeah. Sauter en avant. When you learn the verbs dire and faire, and are supposed to be, alors quand vous apprenez, ou quand tu apprends les verbes être, dire, faire, you are going to discover, tu vas découvrir, weird conjugations. Yeah? Okay? Des conjugaisons bizarres. Because instead of our normal EZA, we've got this TS business going on. So, for example, vous êtes, vous dites, and vous faites. And we sort of go, what the shit is that and where is that from? Okay? If you looked at the book tense in French, which is basically like your Spanish préterite, but is just largely for books now, largely, or print journalism or whatever, the vous form is T-E-S. So if I did like, so if you think of like, hablé, hablaste, hablo, yeah, okay, hablamos, hablastes, hablaron, like if you did that with, to speak, parler, parla, parla, parlam, parlat, parler, which must sound like Latin to you, but it really must, like, or the joke, it's cam, cas, cat, camus, cat is cunt. The point is, that tense is alive and well in book. You sat them on your lap. Hopefully you know the child, or the parents might, you know. But basically, and you read a fairy story. That fairy story in French is going to be in what we call le passé simple, the simple past. So I said to you, a couple more of these weeks, and we'll do a class on that, so you can start reading some books. Yeah, like even nice, you know, basic kids' books are great for learners. So it's just acknowledging that the spoken tense that I always say actions have auxiliaries. Yeah, le temps parler, effectivement, les actions, ils ont des auxiliaires. It's like you don't do that in written. So if I said Harry Potter went to the castle, Harry Potter est allé au château. In a book, it would be Harry Potter alla au château. There's that much difference, but it's actually easier because it just works like English and it works like your Spanish. Okay, so good. So say for me in French.
En français.
There, pardon me, my mouthful. There is a tense. Tense is just the word for time. There is a tense.
Il y a un temps.
That we use for books.
Que we use. Nous utilisons.
Spot on for books.
Pour les livres.
Your accent is flawless. And it's easier for English people.
Aye, easier. We did this.
More easy.
Yeah. Et c'est plus facile. No, that's Spanish.
No, it isn't. It's correct. Go with it.
Plus facile.
There you go. Stop doubting yourself. You were correct. For For those who speak English. For those who speak English. We can say anglophone, but for those. What letter do we point with, as Brooklyn told me earlier?
Letter do we point with? The C?
So, ce, C-E-U-X, pour ce, yeah? For those who speak English.
It's plural. Pour ce que...
Pause, pardon interrupting. As per earlier, we've just mentioned some people. Who is doing the verb speaking now? Is it those people, or are we bringing in someone else to do the verb? It's those people.
Qui.
That's the bastard. Notice here the ce qui is C-E-U-X, new word qui, ce qui, as opposed to ce qui, C-E, new word Q-U-I, which is a whole other thing together. Yeah, like which is like what happened when it's not a question. Ce qui s'est passé. All right, sounds the same largely, but yeah, good. So for me today.
Aujourd'hui.
After finishing my class, and that's going to be the same person doing the next verb. What did we do with after when it was the same person doing it?
After to finish. Infinitive?
Right, good. But what do we need in the middle?
I don't remember. This is avant
right.
versus après.
What goes in the middle?
De, pour?
That is for the before.
I'm guessing.
You're not guessing because you're correct. Avant de plus the infinitive. Après avoir or être plus the past form. So let's just say this again. If you've got after, shut up computer. If you've got after or before, and it's the same person, let's just mentally get that straight first. So if I said after Brooklyn arrived, everybody smiled. Who's doing the arriving?
Brooklyn.
Who's doing the smiling?
Everyone.
Different people, yeah?
Yeah.
After Brooklyn arrived, she smiled. Same people or different people?
Same.
After arriving, Brooklyn smiled. Same people or different people?
Same.
So it doesn't matter how you put it in English, just know that you know who's doing the same or different.
Okay.
Same as before. Before Brooklyn arrived, Luke opened the bottle of wine. Before Brooklyn arrived, she, whatever, before she arrived, she rang her mom or something like that, yeah? So if you've got the same person, no, let's do the easy one first. If you've got a different person, you're going to use que. Like we've been talking about earlier, if you're bringing in a person to do something, use the que, yeah?
Okay.
So before Luke eats, every day, before Luke eats whatever, something, he reads the fucking packet to see if it's going to kill him with gluten. So, avant que Luke mange. No, sorry, I've made a mistake because it now somebody else needs to do something now, doesn't it? Because it's avant que. So avant que Luc mange. In some bits of French, you can have an avant que Luc ne mange, but let's not talk about that for now. So avant que Luc mange, his mom asks, sa mère demande, whatever, yeah?
Okay.
Before Luke eats food, he checks, same person, avant de manger. Yeah? So, in other words, antes de comer. You know, it's exactly the same thing, the de there. If it's after, though, we don't have después de, we have après avoir or après être, and then the past participle. So, how would you say he has eaten? Normal 1, 2, 3, he has eaten.
Il a mangé.
Great. How are you spelling manger?
Oui, with the...
Spot on. Spot on. I like the contemporary dance body lean. That was really good.
Well, I don't know which way it would show.
No, that was lovely.
Giving both
so,
options.
Après avoir mangé, same spelling.
After having eaten.
How do you say I have seen? J'ai vu.
J'ai vu.
Nice accent. How do you say after seeing? So in other words, when you go après avoir or après être, you're just going to think, well, normally, do I use have or be here? If you say j'ai vu, are we in the land of the have or the land of the be?
Have.
Bottom. So we're going to be après avoir vu or après être vu?
Avoir.
That's it. That's literally it. So let me give you a couple. So you've got to listen out for, is it the same person?
Okay.
If it's the same person, infinitive. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So avant de plus your verb, or après avoir or après être plus your past tense. If it's a different person, we need the que. So before Luc, after Luc arrived, après que Luc est arrivé, right? Après que, and then the normal Luc arrived.
Mm-hmm.
Final bit of information, avant que, so that means before. So if I'm saying avant que, is it the same person or a different person if it's avant que?
Different.
Spot on. If we're using avant que, brace yourself for this, for its groundbreaking linguistic territory claiming. Avant subjunctive v. If you use avant que, it's going to be subjunctive. So before Luc eats, no one can hear a difference or give a shit. Avant que Luc mange. Before Luc ate, avant que Luc ait mangé, the subjunctive on the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I will guide you, but off we go. Before arriving at Brooklyn's house, Luke bought some flowers.
Okay, it's the same person. So
Good. So that means, does that mean cut or infinitive?
Infinitive.
Good. So before arriving.
Avant d'arriver.
Flawless. At Brooklyn's house. You can go both ways, darling. You can either say à la maison de Brooklyn or chez Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yeah. Like a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'll talk about restaurant as I eat my microwave mixed veg.
5 stars.
Chez Brooklyn. So avant d'arriver chez Brooklyn, Luke bought some flowers.
Chez Brooklyn, Luc a acheté des fleurs.
Flawless. Put that all together. Avant d'arriver chez Brooklyn, Luc a acheté des fleurs.
Okay. Avant d'arriver chez Brooklyn, Luc a acheté des fleurs.
Good. Acheté. Good.
Acheté.
After arriving at Brooklyn's house, Luke washed his hands because he'd been on the tube. Which is always polite, I always feel. So,
but it's still the same person.
After arriving at Brooklyn's house, Luke washed his hands. Who did the arriving?
Luke.
Good. Here's a clue. If you say after and then an ing with no name, automatically it's going to be the same dude, isn't it? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, just to warm me up, will you please say I arrived? How would you say I arrived?
J'ai arrivé.
If I reminded you it was a be verb, a movement verb?
Oh, crap. Je suis arrivé.
Nice link. Good. So we're clear. It's a be verb. So how would you say after arriving?
Okay, I understand what you're getting at now. We would say.
So we know we need an infinitive, same person. Our question is basically, how are we going to do the infinitive? Is it avant de and the main verb in the infinitive? Or is it après, then either infinitive avoir or infinitive être and the past tense? Because if you think about it, both methods are going to use an infinitive, but one method could use any infinitive, and one method is just only ever going to use have or be in the middle. So which one is it going to be if it's after arriving?
I'm going to say it would be après d'être arrivé.
Flawless. So do you get my thing about same person infinitive, different person que, but it goes avant de infinitive of whatever the verb is. Après, infinitive of the have or the be, past tense. Yeah? All right?
Yeah.
So, avant, après être arrivé, lovely. Lovely. Pardon me, reflexive. Could you say Luke washed his hands? And you're going to need to do that reflexively. Luke washed himself the hands.
Luc se lavait.
Go with it. What you think it is? Les mains.
Les mains.
Flawless. Told you.
Okay.
Right. Go get Luc s'est lavé les mains.
Luc s'est lavé les mains.
Good. After Brooklyn arrived, Luke opened the wine.
Après que
Good.
Brooklyn...
Good. Spot on. And the minute you've done that, just say it normally now, because it's normal. Okay, up to you.
Oh, I can't remember what I said before or after. Après.
Après que.
Après que Brooklyn...
So is après que subjunctive or is avant que plus subjunctive?
Après.
You didn't listen to my unbelievably skillful trick. Ready?
Avant. Yes.
Subjunctive.
Sorry.
Probably just distracted by the hideousness of that phrase. So basically, so in other words, if you're using the que method, your word order is normal. Brooklyn arrived. Brooklyn est arrivé. Après que Brooklyn est arrivé, your word order is still normal with avant que. You just got to use subjunctive. So again, if you've got subjunctive, if you've got a present tense, so every day, you know, he does this before. Now let me think. Before you do it, tell me. So avant que tu le fasses, subjunctive, dis-moi. Before you did it, you told me, I remember, avant que tu l'aies fait, you know, it will go subjunctive in the middle. So avant que will take the subjunctive, but it just depends on the sentence, whether it's going to be the middle verb or the only verb. It just depends what comes next, all right? Let's move on to something slightly more familiar with what you've already done, but with this as well. Where does a pronoun go? Bits before verbs, except before an infinitive. So, if I've got avant de faire, before doing, what's the infinitive? Which word is the infinitive there?
Faire.
Lovely. So if I said before doing it, Brooklyn knows when there's an infinitive, most of the time. There's one example that I can think of where we won't, but I'll talk about that in a bit, where we'd you know, we just whack the pronoun before the infinitive. So how would you say before doing it?
Avant que le faire?
If it's the same person, avant de. Because if you think, Brooke, avant que doesn't use an infinitive, does it? Avant que goes into a new person. So avant de faire, how am I going to put an it in there? Avant
de le faire?
Spot on. Spot on. How do you say before giving? Let's assume it's the same person, so it needs an infinitive. Let's assume the same person, so it needs an infinitive. How do you say before giving?
Avant de le donner?
We haven't even gone to the pronoun, yes, but yeah, just say avant de donner. Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
yeah.
whoops.
No, you're ahead of it. Don't apologise for being ahead of what I need. Lovely. Now then, just to change it up, seeing as you've guessed it with your mouth, let's say before giving me. Before giving me. So before giving me, and then let's say before giving me a flower. Before giving me a flower. Before giving me a flower, Luke nicked it off a grave. Before giving me a flower. Actually, no. Yeah. So yeah, let's go there. So before, you don't have to say the rest. So before giving me a flower.
Avant de me donner.
That's exactly it. Any of your normal pronouns, avant de le lui donner, before giving it him, whatever. Okay, lovely. Après être and après avoir plus past tense. Where's the infinitive in the sentence après avoir mangé? Where's the infinitive?
Avoir.
So if I had a le or a me or a te or a vous or a le l'aller or a le or whatever the crap, where or an e or an on, if I've got a pronoun, it's going to go before the infinitive. So just plainly and cleanly, without any pronouns first, would you please say for me, after eating. And assume it's the same person, obviously, because we're not saying a name. So how am I going to say it? So if it's the same person, are we using a k somewhere or an infinitive somewhere? If it's the same person.
Infinitive.
Lovely. And if it's the one in the past, you think how we're going to do that. So how do we say after eating?
Après No. Avoir.
That's it.
Après
If
avoir
ever you
mangé.
panic, just think, how do you say he ate? Il a mangé. All right,
Yeah.
fine. Tab, yeah. Okay.
So, après avoir mangé.
Good. You say it like you've said it your whole life. Beautiful. After eating them, the cookies. After eating them.
I don't know why I saw people in my head then. I was like, after
I always
eating
do that.
them.
When I say eating them, I always think of people. I always do. I even made a joke earlier when it's like, what did you eat or who did you eat? I always go for that. Yeah.
Of course, cookies is then also.
We'll make it clean and we'll say gingerbread men. Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Good.
Lovely. Okay, so after eating, après avoir mangé, after eating them, après.
Okay, but the rule is bits before verbs except what?
Before an infinitive.
Before an infinitive. So that would be après. Then you need the
Then you
les.
need a pronoun, yeah.
Après
Correct.
les avoir mangé.
Fucking flawless. And you also got the liaison in. Very good work. Well done. That's exactly right. If I said je me suis lavé, what is the auxiliary? Have or be? Je me suis lavé.
Suis. Be.
Great. So we know that it's going to be être in the middle. What is the pronoun in je me suis lavé?
Me.
Good. I mean, by definition, je is a subject pronoun, but yeah, the reflexive is me. So therefore, we're now not just saying après être, we've now got to do something else. So how would you say after washing myself? Après.
Ah!
The pronoun you are placing before is me. That's all it is, isn't it? Yeah. So après.
So après me.
Yeah, but what's the? If it's je me suis lavé, which auxiliary needs to be in the middle? Après.
Après mettre.
Put the washed on the end.
Mettre lavé.
That's it. So they're not as common, but that's completely correct French.
What does it mean again? What does that now mean? Après m'être lavé? After I washed myself.
After washing myself, yeah, after getting washed. Yeah.
Okay.
Not après que je me suis lavé. Because it's the same person. Yeah, it's the same person. Après m'être lavé, after washing myself. So after washing myself, whatever. I walked elegantly down the street with nothing protecting my nakedness. Après m'être lavé, je me suis promené nu dans la rue avec rien pour me protéger. Yeah, that's exactly right. These are not meant to be comfortable the minute you learn them. Remember that sensation. It is not meant to be comfortable the minute you learn it. It is meant to be comfortable the minute you've said it a few times. Yeah? Good. So let's do some in context. This morning.
Ce matin.
Ce matin, masculine.
Fuck, ce matin.
Using the verb se réveiller to wake up, reflexive. Say for me, I woke up.
Je me suis réveillée.
Lovely. Before waking up, I was sleeping. Isn't that a shocking statement? So the verb to wake up in its neutral dictionary form, I shall try not to stress the dick again, dictionary form, is se réveiller. Think what one must do to se réveiller if talking about myself. So before waking up is going to be
avant de m'être réveillée.
Now,
oh, fuck.
I love your clever mouth. I love your clever mouth. I love your clever mouth. But, and that does exist in some formats, but can we basically say avant de, what comes after the de in avant de? How do you say before eating? Avant de?
Avant de manger.
Lovely. So in the before one, the infinitive that we use is the main verb, isn't it?
Okay.
That's the main verb. So you've got less to think about. So avant de me.
Avant de me réveiller.
That's it. That's what it is. Avant de me
Do I
réveiller.
not need a suis or an et?
No, not there. No, good. It
This
can
is
be
all
done.
going to make sense when I watch this back, but when I'm in the middle of it, I don't
No.
understand
What you're
what's
saying isn't stupid. That can exist, but don't worry about that for now. That can exist, but not for now. Don't worry about that for now. Just get your pattern of avant de plus verb down. Yeah. Lovely. After I ate breakfast, and for breakfast we just often use took. I took. So say for me, I ate my breakfast. J'ai
pris.
I'm loving how you made it sensational. Lovely. I took my breakfast.
J'ai pris mon déjeuner.
Lovely, mon petit déjeuner.
Mon petit déjeuner.
It wasn't a massive breakfast because I did brush my teeth afterwards, but I did eat an entire packet of Nairn's superseded oatcakes whilst reading last night. So I always eat 3. In Tuesday jazz is an hour and a half, and I need a bit of carb. So when Phil goes, go and pop your shoes on for pirouettes, I'm always like, and thankfully there's this friend of ours called Joff who's always got a McVitie's biscuit or some form of something on the go. He's the biscuit king. He is, and he is. That boy knows his way around a cereal bar like I can't tell you. He's just a caterer. He's got a very lovely girlfriend, and she's got a nut allergy, and it's the most loving thing I've ever seen. The way he just hands her a Pret bag, like with all the kind of Pret is a wise decision, isn't it? Because Pret, do you remember that girl that died on the
plane?
Super careful now with their allergy shit. So I don't feel so bad. Before I'd sort of sneakily have a bit of banana and sort of hide it, but now I will unashamedly have a couple of crackers on the side. Yeah. Yeah. So there's kind of quite a time challenge because I'll tend to go first in the pirouettes, and so I've shoes off, socks off for stretching, shoes on, biscuit in mouth, all in 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? It's a quick change.
Like running a marathon. It
is. It's one of those stand there, arms up in the air, let the dresser touch your willy. It's one of those kind of situations. It really, really is. Good. So save me. I ate my breakfast. So j'ai pris mon petit déjeuner.
Okay, j'ai pris mon petit déjeuner.
After eating my breakfast.
I'm immediately stressed. Après. It's the same person. So you need the infinitive.
Yeah.
Après.
Just think, there can only be 2 infinitives here, avoir or être. Which one do you want to go with?
Fuck is that fucking... And that's okay. Let me just ask you something right now. Après has what after it? Après has to have an avoir or an être. It must.
In this context, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The way I teach it, pardon me interrupting, is to remember après avoir or après être. Yeah, the link. Obviously, if you were going to pop a pronoun in, like après m'avoir vu, you would not have that link. But to begin with, après avoir, après être. Another way you might like to think about it is if you're saying after, then the thing you have done is in the past. And you know that the past has a have or a be in it in French normally, doesn't it? So il a vu, elle a dansé, elle est partie. So just think I'm bringing that to the equation. Yeah, okay. I'm bringing that to the equation. Yeah.
And then an avant needs a de.
If it's an infinitive, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
If it's the same person, yeah.
If it's the same person, yeah. If we're talking about the same person.
Or be avant que.
Yeah. Okay, right. Ask me again.
Let me tell you why I'm going on about this. I will send you this actually. I don't need you to memorize the video I'm going to send you. I just need you to literally watch it and let it all just start to grow seeds. The seeds to grow. I don't need you to focus on it mentally. Just literally watch it once. Also, it's the lane by my house. So you'd be like, oh, if I ever go and stay for the weekend, and you're more than freaking welcome. If you want a weekend away to come some lovely country walks and chill, you'd like where I live when I'm not in London. It's a crossroads. There's 9 pubs and 2 garden centres.
Oh.
That's all there is.
Oh, it's a dream.
It's a dream. And quiet pubs without loads of twats. Because you know me, I love people, small amounts. Big people, noisy people. I'm like Michael Douglas in Falling Down. I just want them gone. Really, but like small people, bonding, lovely. Listen to the life stories, love, love, love. So this video is basically me saying, here are a shitload of words that you will forget need occur. And it's this pattern of when it's a different person, or even the same person, but a subject being brought in. You're saying the name of the thing doing the verb. That will need occur. That's a super, super, super freaking common pattern in French. Sometimes invites a subjunctive, as you know yourself. The cut stuff like often brings in a subjunctive, like je veux que, whatever. So it's a really important pattern. So people go, oh God, Luke gets a bit into this avant and this après, but it just sets your brain up for a lot of good shit. Okay? A lot of good stuff. And we don't want to say, I did this, pause, she did this. It just sounds basic bitch. We want to sort of saying, oh, after so-and-so did this, I went and did this, or, you know, I did this without so-and-so knowing, or in order to do this, so-and-so did this. Like pour, for example. So the same as in Spanish. I can say Spanish because we're wrapping up, so you won't, even if you go into complete Spanish, you won't panic. So if you think of like para versus para que, it's like I'm going to London to see Brooklyn. Okay, so voy a ir, you know, ver a mi amiga Brooklyn. It's like para ver. I'm going to go to London, so Brooklyn can, para que Brooklyn, like you'd have the K in there as well, like so that Brooklyn. Spanish is the same thing. You know, it'll shove in the K, you know, like if it's a different person. So this avant que, avant de, but I honestly have one final thing to say on this, which is basically just say the examples. Just say the examples, don't overthink it. You can mind map and go, oh yeah, infinitive, same person, que, different person. That's your first choice. Then come down the line and go, okay, right. So let's say I was doing the infinitive. How am I going to do the infinitive? Avant de, yeah, versus après avoir être, plus past tense, fine. Or you can go, right, avant que, oh, that's the subjunctive, avant que. Just think, que brings in a person, so avant que Luc, après que Luc, you've got to remember to bring in the person. You can instantly start, your brain can start ditching infinitives, because you know the whole reason we've done a que, is so that we can bring in a person, all right? But basically, your superpower, and I keep saying this, is your vowels, is your accent. So link it together when you practice. Okay. If you want to watch videos on avant and après, they are legion on my channel. In fact,
I know I've watched them all, and there's something about it that's not going in. I'll watch them again. This is going to. I will understand.
Then stay this. No, then don't watch this. Don't at all.
No, I want to watch them. I want to understand this because I don't. Even when you're talking, I'm thinking, oh, and normally I get it. It's just a case of practice.
Maybe a bit of a mind map draw, like avant, like just think same infinitive, like here are some other ideas that often rescue people. We don't jump straight into an infinitive in French generally anyway, do we? If we've got an infinitive, we'll normally have like a de. So I'm happy to see you. Je suis content de te voir. So before eating, we're not going to say avant manger. We're going to say avant de manger to get me there. We've spoken about this after is talking about something in the past. And we know that in the past, we like a have or a be kicking around. So après avoir, après être, plus past tense. We can't have two infinitives. There, we can elsewhere, but we can't there. So après avoir, après être, plus past tense. Another little cheeky idea. Subjunctive avant. We've spoken about it with the que. Yeah, we've spoken about that one. But it's not the end of the world now if you say avant que tu as fini. Fine. No one cares about that. We'll understand you. That's also another good thing. Also, additionally, I'd say think about when you practice these sentences about not making every word the same length and stress. So one of the annoying things is, and you possibly found this when you're doing tenses, is when you stress the grammar, it never sounds correct. It always sounds a bit odd. And grammar is oddly the stuff in a sentence which is so seldom stressed. So if I said, for example, I woke up this morning, oui, alors je me suis réveillé ce matin, je me suis réveillé. After waking up, oui, alors après m'être réveillé. The stress would be on réveillé. It wouldn't be on the metro or this stuff.
Yeah.
Before you came to see me last night, you know, I opened the wine. Oui, alors avant que tu sois venu me voir, the stress would be on voir. Yeah. You know, I'm going to oui, alors je vais à Londres pour voir Brooklyn. Stress on Brooklyn. I'm going to London so that Brooklyn can see me. That sounds a really arrogant thing to say. I should allow you the pleasure of my company. Je vais à Londres pour que Brooklyn puisse me voir. Stress on voir. Do you see what I mean? So I totally get the dilemma. Final comment. You are one in a line of everybody I've ever taught that doesn't like avant and après for the first couple of times they've done it. Nobody likes it at first because it's two systems and they're not parallel. They're not parallel, they're not symmetrical, it's just really annoying. So you've got two systems and then each of those two systems has got two different ways as well. And also, rather annoyingly, let's be frank, you're quite a musician. You're a dancer, so you're a musician. You have heard avant and après on their own with bugger all else. So you have heard avant la réunion, before the meeting, après le dîner, after the dinner. Yeah, you've heard avant and après used on their own. So your brain wants to just use avant and après. When are we going to see him? Afterwards, après. When did you do it? Avant. Yeah, so you are used to hearing avant and après on their own, which is fine. You can still use them on their own. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, before my mom, I'm gonna see Brooklyn. Alors avant ma mère, je vais, you know, fine. Just the minute verbs get involved, infinitive will cut. Yeah.
Yes, boss.
Good. Let me press stop record.